keep missing our exits, but we let them pass by. I told you that I don't mind, it's alright. I wanna be with you tonight. Leave me breathless, like I'm falling for the first time. You don't have to say more. I'm back to where I began. I red light when I fell for you, baby. Drive slow cause I love the view. It's a long stay if you want me to. It's a long road, but you are my navigator. We can take the long way home. We can take the long way home. You are my navigator. You never have to bring me home. You never have to bring me home. Home is everywhere we go. Home is everywhere we go. With a tank full of daydreams and I fear at the roadside. Lost, I lose sight. I wanna get lost tonight in the simplest places. And look in your eyes. I never wanna touch the ground, cause we're safe and sound. And I red light when I fell for you, baby. Drive slow cause I love the view. We can stop here if you want me to. It's a long road, but you are my navigator. We can take the long way home. We can take the long way home. You are my navigator. You never have to bring me home. You never have to bring me home. Home is everywhere we go. Yeah, home is everywhere we go. We can take the long way. We can take the long way home. We can take the long way. Cause home is everywhere we go. Can take the long way. We can take the long way home. We can take the long way. Cause home is everywhere we go. For you, baby. Drive slow cause I love the view. We can stop here if you want me to. It's a long road cause you are my navigator. We can take the long way home. We can take the long way home. You are my navigator. You never have to bring me home. You never have to bring me home. Home is everywhere we go. Home is everywhere we go. Home is everywhere we go. Thank you, everyone. This Karaoke Saturday. This is Princess Ariel sitting to you on a Saturday night. And I just wanted to do like a really cute funk song. It's one of my favorite songs from the Moons. I just want to give a shout out to Raven Over once again. If you get a chance, check out her channel. She's on YouTube and also on the Instagram. And I believe she's on Facebook. And so if you get a chance, check out her channel. She's talking about very serious issues lately affecting all of the black trans women being murdered in our country. And this is a very serious thing that's happening right now. It seems like an uptick in trans murders. And the only way that we can stay safe is to stick together and keep speaking out against our administration, speaking out against people who feel that trans people should be marginalized down to the lowest forms of the earth. And I just want to encourage everyone to go out and check out Raven's channel. She talks about a lot of the murders and all of the crimes that are involved, and if these perpetrators are being caught. A lot of them are being caught, And it's a really good thing. It's just sad that we're losing so many girls in our community due to hate and violence. And so, for myself, I'm very saddened every time I hear about a trans girl being murdered because I know it's wrong. And I know during my transition how difficult it was when I, first came out to everyone. A lot of people rejected me. I lost a lot of friends, family, associates, co-workers. I went through hell and back. Even though I knew it was the one thing that could save my life, it was necessary. And so I want those of you who are listening, young people behind me, always, know your worth and know that your life is of value and that you're doing something to save your own life. When you don't have another way to exist on the planet, you have to be yourself. Always be yourself and never allow someone to tell you who you are. You know in your heart who you are, and nothing nobody can say can undo your brain. Every day and every minute of your life, you're going to wake up who you are. From the day that you're born all the way to the day that you die, you're always going to be the same. No matter how many people are out here murdering, killing, and doing these things, it doesn't change anything because every day there's going to be someone who fits the LGBTQ being born. So I just wanted to, add my support to the conversation and say a lot of prayers for a lot of grieving friends and family members who have lost their friends due to violence. And it just seems like we're living in very heightened times of hate, and it's all a lot of it is politically motivated. So stems from the top, and it comes all the way down through our churches, through our schools, through our personal lives, and everything. People are being affected by these things. But the saddest part is to seeing that the most marginalized is being just census. I can't say the word. Being slaughtered, and it's just, you know, unbelievable, and it's just unrelentless to have to come home every day and see Raven, reporting on these things, and, seeing conversations in other chat forums that aren't necessarily favorable and blaming the victim. You should never blame someone for being murdered. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't matter if someone's a prostitute. It doesn't matter if it's a church lady. No one deserves to be killed for just breathing air. I never will understand it, and I just don't get it. So, I try not to judge people. I try not to judge someone on how they make their money because I know what I have to do to make mine. Work isn't honest, but it pays the bills at the end of the day. And so, I keep my opinions on me. I don't put my opinions on other people as they have done to me because I know I've always been a party to a lot of judgment, especially being a princess from Disney and knowing what I had to do every day. I got on that parade walk and I would come off the parade walk and be pulled to the side, singled out amongst hundreds of performers, and I'm the one getting, basically, you know, the first degree about cutting my hair and all kinds of stupid shit that didn't matter when you're inside of a costume. Nobody can see what your hair length is or whatever, and then scream, "Oh, it's Disney standards" or whatever, and at the end of the day, I was hired with this hair, so why are you telling me almost 10 years later to cut my hair? It's stupid. And that's what you call harassment. So always know what your worth is out here, ladies, and our trans men, and know that, God loves you, regardless if you believe in God or not. There is a higher being that loves you. I love you, and I just want to spread love and, you know, and promote understanding. I don't go around people who I know that don't like me. Sometimes people are fake anyway, and they don't like you. They pretend to be your friend, and they'll be stabbing you all up as soon as you walk around the corner. I can't tell you the countless times that's happened to me where I'm sitting there having a conversation just as friendly and playing with someone, and the moment I turn the corner, they go to the next person that they're talking to and say all the most horrendous things about me. And I don't want to make this just so I'm just giving you an example of what how people can be, and that's why I don't like to go out a whole lot. I just stay home mostly. I'm very comfortable with crafting and just being with my animals and stuff like that. And it keeps me safe. I don't have to deal with a whole lot of the public sector. It would be nice to go out and, be a part of society, but I don't want to put myself in jeopardy just because I'm older and I've already been through all of that stuff. I've already survived a lot of hate. And there was nobody to go to when those things happened to me. There was no police to call. I knew that they weren't going to do anything. We're in the particular state that these events happened. I was told that they weren't going to do anything, and then my neighbors were the police. And I had to look at them with sets of 4 and 5 eyes just to rationalize, should I report this to them or am I going to get blamed? But when you have your own friends who are your closest friends are blaming you, then why would you turn around and go to a complete stranger to only be victimized again after you've been attacked or you've been, date raped or whatever the atrocity is? And so I'm just telling you these things as a person who has survived it and has been through those things, ways that you can keep yourself safe. You always have personal protection on you at all times. I don't promote guns and things of that nature. I'm not a gun person, but I do believe like pepper spray, like stun guns and different. There's all kinds of, weaponry you can buy to protect yourself when you're out and about because you just never know. And just don't go in places where there's danger. I mean, you have to have a sixth sense about going in spaces that aren't, LGBTQIA friendly. Communities that you might live in that aren't necessarily open-minded, and people are just looking up for a come up, a video click to see you getting beat up or getting attacked on public transportation. We've seen it over and over again. We've seen all of the Maury Povich shows with, it's a man, blah, 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 blah. And it's just entertainment for those close-minded people. And so, it's not funny when you're on the receiving end of those things. And I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish being born different on someone, to have them turn around and be killed just for existing. But it is what it is. You're not going to get a whole lot of people out there who care about, you know, LGBTQ issues. And it just depends on, who you ask. I see a lot of men who speak very negatively about trans women and what they'll do to them if they've, ever are ended up with one. And I almost think that that's kind of a little stab, but in the background they probably have experienced something with a trans woman on their part. Not that it was the girl approaching him. He went up to her and he knew, he knew who she was, and he knew she was a trans woman or a trans person. So, and so in order for them to protect their secret identity, they have to filter out this very toxic masculinity in a space like Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. And you see it all the time, every day, 24 hours a day. And those are like what we call clickbait, when they're just trying to get a come up for the salacious hard talk of, saying these kind of horrific things about blaming the victim. And they'll see a clip of the girl who's been murdered, then they jump on their page and they'll say the most horrendous things that you can think of about that girl. But those are very, very much probably the same men who go after those girls, who will pay for sex from them and then turn around and try to rob them and that kind of stuff. For me, I'm very lucky. My parents never threw me out of the house, but I wasn't out to my parents like that, and I didn't know what was going on with me at the time. Growing up, I knew I was very different, but I didn't know I was trans until very late when I was very getting suicidal again in my early 30s. And so better late than never, I say. But it all makes sense now, now that everything's done. Um, and so with that, I'm just, going back to the fact that these girls, a lot of them are workers, street workers and stuff. I went to college, but it doesn't matter. I still was victimized from, very early on in life. And there was, for me, I didn't understand a lot of the attacks, the verbal abuse and stuff like that. And a lot of it I had to block, because what do you do when the people in your community they know you're different and they don't like you? There's not much you can do. And if you're going through life being repeating and repeating and repeating because you can't change who you are, you start to feel like you don't have a spot on the earth. And, it's wrong. It's wrong to tell someone to not be themselves, to cut themselves off and act a certain way and look a certain way, when deep inside you know that that's never going to go out of that person. That's who they are. When someone shows you who they are, you should believe them. If a person says, "Oh, I'm an axe murderer," well, bitch, where your axe at? Let me get the hell away from you. Oh, can you say bitch on here? I think you can. But you know what I mean. I'm just trying to give you some, examples of believing people when they say who they are. There's a lot of, people out there who are non-gender, non-binary. They can switch from gender to gender. They look masculine one day, they may feel more feminine another day, and they jump from boy to girl or wherever they want to date. It shouldn't matter. They shouldn't be killed for that. That's not a reason to kill someone. It's not a reason to trick someone into a hotel, have sex with them, and then turn around and you know that all of the money they have is on them. You turn around and rob them, and if they try to fight you and get their money back, you turn around and kill them, and then you dump their body in the park or dump them somewhere. That's just crazy to me. And then have a community of people who know these girls and know that these guys are out here and know who they are, who's doing these things, and support it and get on your platform and say, "Oh, it's okay. She deserved it. She shouldn't have been, tricking him." Come on. Everybody in that area where you live know that that girl was trans, and they knew that was her only means of making money. She's not there because she's fixing to be on TV. She's doing it because she's got to eat. She's got to pay rent. She's got to do it. She got to live her life just like you got to live your life, you know. And so that's no reason to kill somebody. And I just can't stress that enough, that it's wrong. That's wrong, to take somebody's life because you don't agree with who they are. You don't like the way they look, or you don't like the way they sound. She looks too much like a man, blah, blah, whatever. It doesn't matter. All you can do is mind your own business, live your life. If they ain't coming around you asking you for anything and in your peripheral area, why do you care? Why do you need to get on your platform and speak ill of somebody that you 9 times out of 10 probably gonna turn around and sleep with them when the cameras aren't rolling? You know, you want to put on all of the filth in the world and say all the filthy things that come out of your mouth to defile them and dehumanize them, blame them for being murdered and all that kind of stuff, when you 9 times out of 10 will probably be the same person to pay for the services from that person, and then trying to turn around and rob them. And if you can't get that money and rob them, you turn around and rape them. We've seen this over and over and over in the same spaces. It's not even a secret of who's doing what, because they're on camera videotaping themselves talking shit on tape in groups, huge groups, massively beating people up. In a lot of these inner cities, it's happening a lot. And it just keeps happening. And at some point, where do what y'all call quote unquote Wakanda or Zamunda really fall into play if this is how you're behaving in your communities? I just don't see, a technology future of these places that I've seen, these shows and stuff happening, if this is what's happening in 2019. And I do apologize, it's late, I'm a little tired, and my speech is a little tongue-tied, but I just wanted to just kind of chat more intimately about what's happening right now and how you guys should um, just keep talking about these issues, bringing it to light, and try to bring some love and support to these trans women and protect them, because they need to be protected just as much as you need to be protected. And one thing I want to leave you guys with is that death is coming for every last one of us. We don't know the hour, the place, the time, or how we're going to leave here. But one thing is for sure, you don't have to take it upon yourself to blame someone for being murdered. They're dead. They're not coming back. So why get on your platform and then speak ill of someone's death and blame them? It doesn't change the fact that where you live, this stuff is taking place, and you want to sit here on your high horse like you're something special. That God is really pleased with that when you're taking His job away from Him, because He said He's the ultimate judge, not a man. We don't get on here and you know glorify another human being. That's just not biblically correct. You only glorify God and you fear Him. But a lot of y'all don't fear Him. That's why you're out here running rampant, part of one of Satan's soldiers. That's the only way I can see it. And on that, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. If that's your platform out there is hate and killing people, then I rebuke you, and I hope I don't come across your path. God keep me safe, because it's ridiculous what's happening, and it's sad. It's sad, and it's unfortunate, But I'm glad that a lot of these um, killers are getting caught, and hopefully eventually Wakanda will happen, and people will grow up and start to open their minds a little bit to people who are different from them, and learn how to, instead of promote hate, try to be supportive. If you want to support, go on Raven's channel, buy those shoes that she's asking you to buy. Listen to those girls' names that she's speaking of. Do your own research if you don't believe what I'm saying. All you got to do is type the girls' names in, and you can see everybody's clickbait. And all the things they do is say, oh, I'm not blaming the victim, but she should have. Well, if you're not blaming her, then why are you saying she should have? That doesn't make any sense to me. Grow up. That's that simple. You don't have something good to say about somebody, keep your damn mouth shut. It's that simple. Anyway, I just want to say I love you, my black trans sisters, and anyone else around the planet, in the globe, in Brazil, and in all of these islands, where these atrocities are happening over there too as well. And in most black spaces, it's where the murders and stuff are taking place around our planet, in all 6 continents. I'm praying for you, and I'm praying for myself, and I'm praying for anybody who needs a prayer that's suffering in their life. And I pray God gives you some peace. I pray for my enemies, that they shall know of their hate and their split forked tongue, to speak lies and blame people from being killed. I rebuke you in the name of God. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Go back to the pits of hell where you came from. If you would like to support my channel, please like and share. If you want to make a donation, to take any denomination and whatever you can give, it helps me update my equipment and stuff like that, to do more of my recycle videos. I got a lot of stuff coming up recycling wise. I'm doing right now, I've been working on a lot of solar lights and solar projects just around the house here, and hopefully I can start to do some videos so you can see the projects that I've been working on. It's been a lot. I think you'll like those things if you're into recycling glass, paper, plastic. You'll enjoy the solar projects that you can do yourself. Anybody can do this. It's very simple. It's very easy. And it adds a lot of whimsy to your home, especially if you live in a relatively dark areas outside. You can put these things out in your windows, out in your yard, the waterproof solar projects, and I'll be bringing those to you guys soon. Thank you again. This is Princess Ariel. Um, have a wonderful night, and peace, and happy Pride Month to my LGBTQIA people out there. Hope you guys are having a lot of fun. Bye.